Good morning, fellas. How are we doing? What's up? What's up? We're not on Petrowski today. We are on the alts account. Onlyshinies 2, because I messed up the first one. I lost the recording, so the first one my hard drive died. But what's up, fellas? Good morning, good morning. Hope we're all having a good day. For those who aren't familiar with the Onlyshinies account, let's break down the current... I'm actually have way more encounters on it than I realized. I'm at 5,200 encounters on it, which is awesome. Let's break down what it is. So the Onlyshinies account is a pretty explained in the title sort of thing. It's a PokeMMO account that can only use shiny Pokemon. It's something I've been working on passively for the past 2 years or so. The first iteration actually picked Squirtle, and that was a mistake. So I actually ended up picking Charmander because he has the fastest base speed out of all the Kanto starters. So he is the best because you cannot get a shiny starter Pokemon in PokeMMO. The only way to even do a challenge like this or start a challenge like this is to pick your starter Pokemon, go to Route 1, and then run back and forth in the grass until you find a shiny Pokemon. That's it. That's the only way to even do this sort of challenge. Now, there are a couple questions people always ask or talk to you about. Hey, man, how is, why is your Charmander low HP? Shouldn't you go heal just in case you run into a shiny? And my answer to that is that I have 2 safety potions, because you're able to get 1 potion from a woman on this route by talking to her, and then you're also able to get a potion up to the top left of Vermilion City. There's like a little tree, and you can walk around, and behind that tree there's a potion. So I've grabbed 2 potions for safety. However, I am not allowed to actually use my Charmander in the battle. Once I find the shiny Pokemon, I do have a limited number. I have 5 Pokeballs to hopefully catch it within. I kind of have a stipulation where if I get down to the very last Pokeball, I might allow myself to scratch it down or something, or use it to get its HP low, because if I don't catch within 5 Pokeballs and I lose it, that would be super, super unfortunate. But I think that's everything in terms of what there is to cover on the Onlyshinies account. There's a lot of like FAQ questions that I was going to go. I guess the number 1 Pokemon that I want here on this route, that's a good question. Sentret/Furret. You can get Sentret/Furret. I think it might be like daytime only or certain times of the day in PokeMMO. It's one of the best HM Pokemon, and the main thing that you need to overcome to beat this challenge is just getting Pokemon that can do all the HMs you need to complete the storyline. All right, that's everything explained. Hopefully we don't go super dry on this account. We'll see what happens. Yeah, someone in chat came in saying they just got a Cyndaquil. Yan Yabilot? Dude, congratulations. You said, I hatched a shiny Cyndaquil, but I was going for a Charmander. Hey, man, either way, that's pretty fucking incredible. Congratulations to you, dude. Oh, what's up, Pat? Mysterious Pokeballs went up in price a little bit. Ooh, I'll check that out in one split sec. Let's check Mysterious Ball Pokemon. Let's see how they're doing. Mysterious. So we've got Great Balls at what? 23k? 24k? Up a little bit. A very small amount. 24k or so. We've got Pokeballs at 13.5. That's a fair raise. When these are like, when they go from like 10k pretty consistently for thousands of them up to like 4k more, very, very high quantity item. That's a really cool little price change. And then Ultra Balls that are on 70k haven't really changed too much. Premieres are the big one. I'm still shocked to see them this low, but we'll see what happens with them. I honestly don't think I've really talked about Mysterious Balls enough, because Mysterious Balls are probably, I don't think they've, man, I love to praise the devs, okay? The PokeMMO devs are genius. They are the, the greatest developers of the greatest Pokemon game. I could glaze them all day, but I'm gonna be honest, Mysterious Balls are one of the most malicious, horrible updates they've ever added. We've had loot crates and loot boxes, here and there, which are already like a red flag, right? But to add them to this extent to where you can get shiny Pokemon is really disappointing. It's actually like one of the most troubling updates PokeMMO could have released. A way to like pay to win shinies to some extent. Obviously, it's a limited pool of shiny Pokemon, and everything like that. But the time it takes to get, for those who don't know, the quickest you could get a shiny in PokeMMO prior to Mysterious Balls was like 30 hours on average. 30 hours on average. At least they didn't cost RP. They might as well, because you could just buy RP tickets, sell them, and use the pokeyen. They might as well. It's the same thing. I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's a really, really horrible update. It's really, really bad for the game's integrity, and like, I don't know, it's a really big red flag in terms of microtransaction and loot boxes and what the devs want to do in the future. It does worry me a lot. I think I've undersold that. Hey Pat, do you personally see your encounters as an overall number, or do you separate them per account? I do separate them per account. Obviously physically you do, but mentally do you see a difference? I mentally do see a difference, but that's kind of silly at the same time, you know? I mean, once again, I always just try to remind people, the amount of encounters you have really doesn't matter. It's still a 1 out of 30, you know, the rate doesn't change. It's encounter counter is a way to trick your brain, and that sounds a little mean, but tricking the human brain is one of the most powerful things you can do, right? Like, tricking the human brain allows you to overcome or do things you wouldn't normally be able to. Shiny hunting is what I call a fruitless grind, which is really painful. A fruitless grind is something where you wake up, you know, work really hard for X amount of hours, you go to bed, and you don't see any progress. It's one of the most painful things. You don't see any progress in a shiny hunt until you see a shiny, which sucks. Encounter counters are a way to trick your brain into thinking you're getting progress, even though you're not really, right? But man, does it feel good to like wake up one day and have like 0 encounters, go to bed with like 10,000. That's like, that, it keeps you sane. Like seeing some sort of progress, seeing some sort of number go up keeps the human brain sane, and it's so important in my opinion. Obviously people are different. Some people, like, the encounter counter hurts their mental. Totally just do whatever is best for you, but it's a really interesting, you know, shiny hunting is such a mental game, the same way so many games that I play. I love that mental grind, you know, element, and do whatever you can to trick your brain into grinding more or staying at it or not getting burnt out, feeling, you know, good, etc., yada yada yada. Yeah, like before encounter counters existed, I would keep track in a notepad document, and what I would do is like I would tick that up. I would try to tick that up every, like, I used to like Payday to keep track as well, and tick it up every Pokeyen. Once Horde came out, I would tick it up 30, you know, every you know, healing of the PP or whatever. But yeah, I always try to keep track of my encounters even before encounter counters existed. But man, it's so hard to shiny hunt long term without an encounter counter, for me personally. Is it worth using Leppas while shiny hunting Magikarps? You should 100% use Leppa berries while hunting for Magikarp / Dratini in Dragon's Den. That's definitely a Leppa location. Any location that requires you to travel through other patches of grass or water or like possible encounters, if you have to travel through possible encounters, it's usually best to use Leppas. There are some spots, like I would actually love for someone to test. It might be worth to do like repels at like Dragon's Den, or like the lantern spot is a really good example, where it might actually be possible / most efficient, at least money wise. The issue is it's probably worth to just, you know, money is time, right? So if you're just spending your money to save time, it's usually worth it in most MMOs. It's a tough thing, but for cheaper players or for budget players, if you want to use repels to like go to the lantern spot at Sootopolis, for example, or make your way over to the Dragon's Den, it might be okay / decent. True, it's not backseat Thursday. I will say I will be taking Thursday off of streams. I'm letting you guys know now. I really appreciate you guys watching, you know, every day and stuff like that. It's awesome. I'm gonna take Thursday off because I want to relax while I can. Because I'll be live Saturday. I'll be live Saturday, Sunday. So I'll be live some extra hours. So I'll be 2 extra days, right? So I'll be taking 1 day off to get 2 extra days of stream, because I'm doing Shiny Wars. Shiny Wars is coming out. I like to, whenever there's a big competition for any game, I always recommend that I always try to at least take 2 days fully off of that game. I will not allow myself to log into PokeMMO Thursday, Friday, because it's so important to build like you rebuild that desire to shiny hunt essentially. It's like from scratch. It's so nice. Is there a sweet scent Pokemon you can get before Rock's Gym or before Brock's Gym? Yes. However, I'm limiting my, like, technically, if I wanted to be super efficient, what I could technically do is go get Oddish, because north of this city, Viridian City, there's Oddish spawns up there, but I don't think that's fair. I think I should have to be stuck to Route 1. The fact that my starter cannot be shiny, I think that's been my rule on this account, is I'm locking myself to Route 1 specifically. Because otherwise I would be able to get like Oddish. Technically, Pikachu is a 1% chance here. Very, very low, but Pikachu can learn Sweet Scent. That would be an insane, very lucky and a cool, decent looking shiny. Dude, it's super cool to see people who are also doing this challenge with me. We have Shiny Kanto Lock and Shiny Locked Man, which is awesome. Hi, I'm new to PokeMMO. Can you redo the storyline? It's awesome that a new player is asking that. I wish. I feel like if there was, that's something I've been talking about. That would be a really cool piece of endgame content to allow you to like prestige your account and essentially redo the storylines at like a harder difficulty or something. I think that would be super, 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 super cool. But no, you can't really, you can like create a new account and redo them. There's 5 storylines right now in PokeMMO. Obviously Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, gens 1 through 5. I would love the ability to prestige and earn some sort of long-term rewards or very intense rewards. Even if it's like I've thought about like if they gave like a 1% increase in shiny rate or something like that permanently, or something like very, very small for completing the story X amount of times, or I think it'd be a really interesting change to offer like serious long-term benefits to prestiging storylines. Okay, this is the most data brain question I've seen so far in chat today. Hi Pat, how are you doing? About the Onlyshinies account, why did you lose the first battle against the rival? That is such a good question. So the reason you're asking that is because my Charmander is level 5 and not level 6, and if I would have beaten the rival in Professor Oak's lab, it would have put me to level 6. Great fucking question. The reason why I chose to lose against him is because I'm not allowed to use my Charmander. Like, this is a strict, like, the point of this account is I'm only allowed to use shiny Pokemon, so even in the first rival battle, I did not allow myself to... I have never clicked an attack move on Charmander. That was a really, really good question. One of the best possible shinies on this account that would, yeah, totally be possible to even get, Griff, you're 100% Shiny Oddish. Shiny Oddish would be incredible. It would actually be so good. 100, like, because you get a quiver dancing, really powerful Pokemon in the storyline, and then also obviously a Sweet Scent user. Oddish / Blossom would be one of the best mons for sure. I'm so glad you brought this up, Zachary. Started in Johto in the game yesterday, and it feels hard as hell on a fresh save. Do you think it's the hardest region? Yes, I do. Or do you think I just suck? No, I think Johto is the hardest region to start in, 100%. It's brutal that you started there, man. So the reason why Johto is so hard is because the Alpha Gyarados, like on a fresh save, the Alpha Gyarados fight is really hard. And just if you don't like have a lot of game knowledge or like a ton of experience with PokeMMO specifically, not even just Pokemon, the Alpha Gyarados fight is really hard. And then the Ho-Oh fight, you have 2 boss battles in the normal storyline before even reaching the Elite Four, and you have to beat Whitney's Miltank. So you've got Whitney's Miltank, which is pretty tough in PokeMMO. The Alpha, the Shalfa Gyarados fight at Lake of Rage, the Ho-Oh boss fight, and then, to be fair, the Elite Four in Johto, in my opinion, is the weakest. The Johto Elite Four is probably the easiest, but it's because those 2 boss fights throughout the storyline are so goddamn hard. And the amount of, like, traversal up that stupid Ho-Oh, like, thing, like, dude, the Johto region's probably the hardest to complete. It's a tough one, man. This is such a good sentence, Zoe. I've noticed that at the high level of any game, a lot of people that are dedicated in several aspects of their life. Mentality carries everything. And like it's crazy, like if you have a good mental, you can succeed in like whatever passions or hobbies or interests you want to pursue. Is his name Pokeguy? There's a Pokemon speedrunner, right? Who's like one of the best speedrunners in the world, holds like the world record for a couple different games, or at least Fire Red or something like that, I believe, or at least at one time. He also has been like maxing an Ultimate Iron Man, and he's like semi close to like, if not already did it. But that's like a really, really impressive feat. There are, like I was saying a second ago, there are so many RuneScape players, so many shiny hunters who are also bodybuilders. These people who have like the patience to shiny hunt for long hours and achieve insane RuneScape goals are also bodybuilders and also have the patience to go for like exercise and go to the gym every day, even if they're not seeing earlier, what's it called? Results up front, right? One of the examples I look to is Neo, who is like really fucking fit and he has shiny Shedinja and shiny Riolu in game, 2 of the rarest shinies, which he spent like 2 years each on or some shit. And he is like ripped, like jacked IRL. And there's also what's another good example? So many RuneScape players did this. Even Autumn Elegy was infamous for like doing his like gym arc. So many grinders in video games have their gym arc, and it's just cool to see. If you have that mentality in one aspect of life, it can transfer to another. Super cool. Another good example of someone who like has I love bragging about this guy because he's so underrated as like one of the best gamers of all time. Devious or DVS. If you know him from like the RuneScape community, dude, one of the best gamers of all time, monstrously underrated. And he has the mentality, so he just transfers that mentality across games and succeeds. He was a semi-pro, if not pro PUBG player, a semi-pro, if not pro, I just don't know the exact details, Warzone player. He is the only RuneScape player, I believe, or was the first RuneScape player to max every type of Iron Man. So Iron Man, Hardcore Iron Man, Ultimate Iron Man, and I think he did Group as well later on. I could be wrong, but I don't remember the details. That's an insane feat. Maxing like 4 RuneScape accounts alone as would be insane, let alone all those different types of Iron Man that have very different play styles. All of those are very, very different paths to maxing, and take like 7,000 hours a piece. It's unbelievable. And not only that, but he also has or had some Call of Duty Zombies world records. Like, it is, when you have a good mentality, you can transfer that mental to like every other, anything you're passionate about. Now, it's really hard, even with the best of mentals, to like grind something or be good at something you don't care about. That's like, I'm horrible at that. I am flat out, that's like that's hard. But I don't know, that's why it's really important. It's hard to like, this is a PokeMMO stream obviously, but like it matters. Like PokeMMO and shunting is so mental focused and such a mental grind. Like getting your mental straight is like the #1 thing and most important thing. And everyone's gonna have bad days, but hopefully just having that patterns, and like even if I have bad days, I'm still able to run back and forth in grass in game, you know, and get a little progress. It sounds dumb, but it's a good little mental grind. How long have you been a member of Team Mister? It's a good question. I joined Team Mister when I got back into PokeMMO in like 2021 because one of my longest friends, Dusty Bunny, was in that team, Sir Dusty, and I love him to death. He's one of the captains this year for the Shiny Wars, which is super, super exciting. And I've known him since 2013, and he was able to essentially get me into the team. This was before the team was as popular as it was. Not that it like needed me to be popular. Like even without me, Team Mister would easily be the best shiny hunting team in the game. And like I always say, like I'm one of the, I feel like I'm in like the bottom 10% when it comes to Team Mister shunters. Like I'm bottom 10%. Like everyone in that team is so good at shunting. I feel like I'm actually, and it makes sense as I spend way more time making content and doing videos. So it's not really, you know, the same thing. It's really impressive, but yeah, I'm lucky that I was able to get into Team Mister like a year or 6 months to a year before I started doing content, you know. It's all random RNG. Shiny hunting, is that what you're saying? So I do have people think that, you know, I want to be receptive to why people think that. But I think if you've ever spent any amount of time, any large amount of time shunting, you would understand it's so much more than that. And it's a mental grind, and there is a skill around doing something for a long period of time. A lot of people will belittle things like, oh, but you're just walking back and forth in grass for a lot of hours. That's all it is. There's no skill in that. But the skill is to continue to grind something even when you don't want to, or to be able to push through or do something consistently long term. You could make that same argument for anything in life. You could say like, oh, there's no skill in, you know, weightlifting and getting strong is so easy. There's no skill in it. All you have to do is go to the gym every day, right? But how many people actually go to the gym every day? It's tough. It's hard. It is consistency and long-term dedication is a skill, and learning that mentality is a skill. And shiny hunting revolves a lot around that and a lot around grind, which is why it, you know, is so comparable to other aspects of life. Why isn't Shuckle your profile picture instead of Bidoof? This is actually a good question. The reason why my profile picture on YouTube and I think on Twitch as well is if I'm not mistaken, it's a Bidoof. Yeah, well, now it's a Peepo riding a Bidoof. Originally, it was a shiny Grimer riding a Bidoof, okay? And that was because I got a shiny Grimer in my race to a shiny Pokemon from scratch speedrun. And that was a super fun, like, defining moment in my channel and defining moment in my YouTube, you know, series and growth. That was a fun, I love that challenge. I actually, like, I'm a little sad that going back to that challenge, there's no reason for me to ever go back to that challenge because my time was so good that there's no reason for me to even go back and attempt it again, which is funny. It's a blessing, you know, it's a blessing and a curse. It's literally like suffering from success. What a dumb, you know, it's a funny sentence, but yeah, so that image spawned from that. And then I've always liked Peepos to some extent. Obviously there's some like negative stuff regarding Pepe and Peepo, and I get that history, right? But I try to turn it in a more positive light, and I try to use it like Peepo Happy. If you've ever seen Peepo Happy, you know that is like the most wholesome, sweet little cute image, and I loved him, and I always try to use him to spread positivity. All right, this was a great question. Someone asked me about the PvP ranks in Pokemon. This is a great little quick little video to explain them. So in the top left-hand corner, you have the black badge, right? On the image to the left. Top left-hand corner, you have the black badge, no badge, just unranked users, really easy. And then to the right of that, from left to right, to the right of that, you actually have the character badge. As you can see, it's 450 plus, but they're missing the novice. So the novice badge is at the bottom of this image right here. So that's actually in between the black badge and the character badge. So you've got the novice, the unranked, and then novice, which is 450 elo or below. And then you have the character badge, which is 450 elo plus. And then you have the ace trainer badge, which is the top right one on this image, which is 550 plus. Then the veteran trainer one, which is the bottom left of this, which is 650 plus. And then the elite trainer badge, which is top 100 essentially, that middle one. Bottom middle, and then the bottom right one is literally just rank 1. Hopefully that makes, I know it got a little sketchy there, hopefully that makes sense. A quick little explanation of how PvP ranks work in PokeMMO. And then if you obviously, in terms of getting elo, just win games, and if you go on a win streak, you'll earn more elo based on how many games you win in a row. Hopefully that helps. If it was helpful, like the video, subscribe. Cool. Hey Pat, I might have asked, I want to start my first shunt for a Sharpedo. Is there a known location to hunt Carvanha? Hilariously, if you're up for it, one of the best ways to hunt Carvanha is at the like Phoebus River, because what you can do is if you try to find the Phoebus spot, it's 50% chance for Phoebus, 50% chance for Carvanha, I believe. There are also a lot of spots in the game that I know of that are like, I think, is it outside of Moss Deep City? If you find a Moss Deep City and walk down to the water, you can super rod, I believe, for 50% Whalmer, 50% Sharpedo. I hunted there for a fair bit for Whalmer, but then I found a 100% spot. There's a fair amount of Carvanha spots, obviously, but I would check those out. I think the route that has the Phoebus tile is 100% chance for Carvanha Sharpedo if there's no Phoebus. Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay, that's awesome then. That's cool. Holy shit, dude. This is one of the worst win rates I've ever seen for this many games played on a Pokemon. 37. Poor Slowbro. Slowbro is like, it's crazy to me because like Slowbro is like historically a pretty strong Pokemon that was at OU for a long time. I would think that Slowbro is pretty good in NU, but damn, dude. 37 win rate over like 900 games. You've got Scrafty up here like below 40% at 400 or 1,018 games. Damn, dude. Alakazam is also brutal on the win rates. Damn. Melodic. Man, now ranked open queue isn't everything when it comes to like a Pokemon's power. Like in tournament play, you'll see a lot of different mons. It's always interesting to see that as well. I'd love to start spectating more tournaments because of that reason and such. And just staying up to date on PvP to some extent is always fun and cool. It's like, you know, you see Magmortar here at like 55. Magmortar is not good. I can pretty confidently say that in my opinion. The Claydol is awesome. Really unique Pokemon. Horrible, not quite good enough. Really unique though. That's actually a really good tip for new players. So historically in like traditional Pokemon, you would have to not evolve your Shroomish into Breloom until level 40 to get Spore. Don't do this in PokeMMO. It's such a loss of power and a huge waste. Unless you're like, obviously if you're just like leveling a Shroomish like post game for a catching Breloom, you can kind of do it. If you're gonna level it up anyway, you might as well, I guess, right? But if you're like playing a storyline or something, what you can do is just buy heart scales, turn it into a Breloom as soon as possible, get that power boost. It's a huge power boost, and then use heart scales to relearn. You can just relearn Spore onto Breloom Pokemon. It costs like 12k. Or 15k. It's very cheap. And having that power boost where you evolve it into Breloom at level like 23 versus waiting till keeping the Shroomish till 40 is horrible. It's so rough. You're like in storyline. And if you're just like EV training, if you like have a, if you're post game, if you're good, you might as well, I guess, to save the 12 Pokeyen. But it's a good little tip to keep in mind. One of the most powerful skills. So Toast said, most of the time I lose my games by overestimating the enemy or thinking too much. One of the most powerful skills you can learn in pretty much any competitive game, League of Legends, Overwatch, PvP, whatever, Pokemon PvP, whatever. Adapting your playstyle to what rank you're at is really important. It helps a lot. Now, if you play at like a really high level, if you play like a Masters, for example, in like Bronze or some shit, you'll still win a lot of games and you'll still, but there are some instances in certain fights and certain games and certain things where like understanding your opponent and adapting to that specific match versus playing at a flat baseline all the time will increase your win rate like pretty significantly. Got an interesting question for you, Pat. This is from a PokeForce developer. Are there any PokeMMO rules you disagree with? I actually don't think so. I'm trying to think of one. I don't think I have a single rule. Most I don't disagree with most games rules. Most games rules are reasonable. I'm trying to think. I don't think so. I don't think there's a single rule I disagree with personally. I'd love an example though. I'd love to think on it more. Do you think we'll see a shiny Shaymin this year? I mean, that's the question. There's a lot more players heading into this year's Lunar New Year event versus last for sure. A lot more people are prepared for it. A lot more people know what the hunt is. The odds are way higher than last year. Will we see one this year? I think we will. If not this year, for sure next. I think within 3 years, it's like 100% we'll see one. But yeah, I'm curious to see if someone will get the first shiny Shaymin in PokeMMO. It'll be super cool to see. Dude, that's a good question. Will Teresa, the party hat owner, and the person who bought the first shiny legendary in PokeMMO, shiny Suicune, I wonder if they'll try to buy the first shiny Shaymin. If they even have the funds for it, man. Something like that is so... I can't imagine. It's priceless. I can't imagine. The shiny Suicune sold for $5 bill, right? I feel like the Shaymin would sell for more. Like, way more. Like 10 plus, if not more, if not 10 to 20. It'll be really interesting to see if anybody tries to buy the first shiny Shaymin. That'll be crazy. All right, so I have been rehauling my Patreon. I've been working on this a little bit here and there, and I plan to re-release this at some point. These are the current tiers I have. If you guys have feedback on these, let me know. I'm open to any sort of feedback. If you think something's too expensive, let me know politely. I think a lot of people are like, oh, like, your ego is so high, you want to charge that amount. It's optional. You don't have to pay for that. Like, you know, it's totally all above and beyond support. And it's above and beyond support, as well as there's a couple rewards, but the rewards are definitely like a side feature. It's not like some people might want to pay for the rewards, but it's a bonus for the most part. So we've got $5 a month. The main thing you get is just sneak peeks of upcoming videos, screenshots, thumbnails. I think the main kind of content this matters for, and a lot of people asked for like little sneak peeks on like stuff that affects the economy, like any money making guides, any like investment stuff. I'll be doing little sneak peeks on, just showing timestamps and thumbnails and stuff, or not really giving you the full video up front before people, because I don't love that, but just sneak peeks. And then your name at the end of videos the same way like my YouTube subs and Twitch subs get that. And then for $20 a month, it's just the top feature, and then all the other ones. I'm not done. It's not public yet. I haven't really released this, so this is just my first rough draft. For $20 a month, I will answer any and all questions via a direct line of communication through Discord DMs. So PvP advice, money making tips, investing, flipping, account progression, any like specific questions you have. I'm kind of hoping to stick to any amount of questions, because $20 a month is pretty, you know, fucking substantial. But I think any amount of questions should be fine, but just don't, there'll be like a soft limit within reason. If you're asking me like a shit ton of questions every day, a shit ton being like 20 a day or something, maybe, you know, but that's that. And then $50 a month is a personal voice call, with me to like talk to me in voice for 30 minutes. It could be on or off stream, where once then you can kind of just ask questions about PokeMMO, talk about your specific account, talk about your achievements and your shiny hunts, and whatever you want to talk about in reason in a voice call with me. And those are limited to 10 spots, because that would be, yeah, I can't dedicate that much time to everybody. There's only 10 people could do that. But I'm really excited to do something like that, and just do a like viewer call-ins or viewer talks would be a really fun thing to do on stream at some point. I might even add that to the $20 tier, a much looser thing, like not 30 minutes of dedicated one-on-one time. It would be like, you know, just 5 minutes, come and ask one question here, something like that. We'll tease this out and talk about it, but I think it'll be interesting. Wait, we got Bearminator in chat. I thank you for coming in chat. We got some staff. This is important thanks for communicating this, dude. Hi, just to clarify, it seems like there's been ongoing misinformation, as there always is, and I apologize if I ever extrapolate that. So let's appreciate this. Spamming chat or mentioning ban to us does not make the appeal quicker to be answered. I'm sorry you had to deal with that today. It also does not influence the outcome. It only makes staff deal with spam. Have a nice day. Just to clarify, yeah. Thank you. It's funny you kind of spammed that, but a little ironic. But yeah. Yeah. Guys, if it's not obvious, if you ever think you're unrightfully banned, go submit a support request and just wait. Don't go spam devs. Don't do that. 100%. The feelings about you or your friend being banned are understandable, though. I appreciate that, Bearminator. 100%, dude. 100%. Yeah, don't go do that. Just be patient. Yeah, 100%. Good call. So, okay, people were asking about how to install on iOS and stuff, and the iOS installation is kind of a pain for mine. There are instructions on the official PokeMMO website. I would check those out. I think you do need a computer still to install on iOS devices, unfortunately, for PokeMMO. Someone in chat is saying you can pay $20 a year for an app to do it without the computer. That's a cool option. I'm going to be honest. I tried to install on iOS, and I hated it. It sucked. It asked me to download iTunes, and I gave up so fast. What I did, this is a dumb cop-out, but, dude, I just bought a, like, $40 tablet on eBay. Like, a $40 Android tablet, brand new. And I just downloaded PokeMMO on that, and that was way easier. That is so nice. Now, the issue with that is, like, if you want to play it on the go, you're still gonna have to pay for some sort of cell service. But if you only play on Wi-Fi anyway, which is what I do with the tablet, it's an awesome option for a mobile PokeMMO play. So if you have Wi-Fi and you don't mind, it's $40 for the cheapest tablet on eBay or something like that. Just make sure you get a cheap Android tablet. The screen is beautiful. It's super bright. It works really, really well. I'm very happy with it. All right, not the way you want to see a stream end, but unfortunately, I did disconnect. It just happens. We've been talking about internet issues and stuff the whole stream, and just American ISPs, and it's out of your control to some extent. So unfortunately, there it is, boys. Thank you for watching, though. I do super appreciate it. Like the video if you enjoyed it, if it was entertaining, helpful in some way. Dislike if not, that's totally okay. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. Follow the Twitch for streams, usually Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. However, tomorrow, Thursday, I'm not going to be live. You'll be seeing this stream recap on that day. I will not be live on Thursday because I'm going to be taking Thursday and Friday off, and then I'll be live Saturday. Saturday marks the start of Shiny Wars, so from January 20th to the 27th, I'll be streaming an awful lot and shiny hunting an awful lot. Thanks for watching again. If you want to go above and beyond and support me and allow me to do this kind of content as much as I do, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo donations go a super long way, and my Patreon should be being rolled out here semi-soon, and we'll see how that goes. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. I'll see you guys later. Good luck on your shinies today. Thank you so much for watching until the very end of the video, and I hope it was a positive asset to your day. The same way everybody listed here is a positive asset to my day, going above and beyond and allowing me to make content every single day. Thanks so much for watching, and have a good one.